So should we wait for some time?
Yeah, we can wait for 2 more minutes and then we can start.
Anuprabhas, she's here only, so I don't know. Yeah, she just shared with me because the other webinar link was not working.
Jyotsna ji, you can switch on your video in the Zoom call. You had, yes, we can see you now.
So am I in the?
Jyotsna ji, should we begin?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are pleased to have you all here.
Just wait. There is an overlap. Who is speaking? I am disconnecting करके. All right. Fine. Now everything is set. Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are pleased to have you all here. Today's webinar will be anchored by Ms. Jyotsna Seetling. So the format of the webinar is pretty simple. We have a couple of questions for Jyotsna ma'am. We will ask that to her one after another in due course of time within a span of maybe 40 to 45 minutes. You all can by then send your queries or any kind of questions in your chat box or in the Q&A section that might be visible on your screen. So the first 40-45 minutes will be taken by Jyotsna ma'am to reflect on the need for RBPM in the sector, followed by the last 15-20 minutes where we will be able to address all the questions that we receive in the chat box. So let's first begin by introducing Jyotsna ma'am. Jyotsna ji is currently the member of the advisory committee to SEBI on social stock exchange. She is the former Indian Indian Forest Service officer in Uttarakhand cadre with an illustrious career of more than 35 years. She is also an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, known for her social innovation in public service. She has dedicatedly worked to find sustainable solutions to diverse equity and environment related problems through participatory institutions, policies, instruments, and programs in areas of livelihoods, entrepreneurship, agribusiness, skills, diversity, watershed, climate change, among many others. She's also the first female tribal Indian Forest Service officer. It's an honor to have you here, ma'am. Uh, so maybe we can start right away with
Yeah.
the number of questions we have prepared for you,
I
ma'am.
would first. Can I just before starting the session, can we see the participants?
Uh,
Or
so, ma'am,
yeah.
this is a webinar format session.
Okay.
So the participants are able to see us.
Uh-huh.
We'll be able to see their names, but the
Okay.
participants, you will not be able to see the participants on screen.
All right. All right. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Uh, is there anything else that you want to address?
just they will not be able to ask any questions also.
Yes, they will. That's what I said. So they'll
They
be
will
able
be
to
able
ask
to.
us questions on the chat box.
So
So
if I
that's
say, yeah, only in chat box they will be able to ask questions.
absolutely yes.
Okay. All right.
So I we will keep you supported by telling
So hello
letting you know
everyone.
that.
You can just say hello, whatever, because I believe in, because I was told that it will be an interactive session, not a
Yes.
lecture type of session.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be a free-flowing session. People can keep asking questions in between, and whenever Jyotsna ji is comfortable, she can take the questions.
But someone should, if someone from ISDM could take the
Yes,
question,
yes. I will
tell
help you there.
tell me in
Yes,
a, tell me in a comprehended format, then I would be able to better response. Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, yes. So let's begin. So,
So nice to
Jyotsna,
be with you all. Although I cannot see you, but I can feel you. Welcome. Yes.
yes. So, we wanted to know why logical model is important, logical framework model is important in the development sector. Can you shed some light on it, Jyotsna ji?
See, thank you. You are Apurva or
Anuprabha.
sorry, Anuprabha. Yeah, yeah, Anuprabha. Yeah. Now, the question you have asked, why logic model is important for development sector. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
See, I just would like to cite here that see, the social projects are very diverse, difficult, and there needs a seamless understanding across the stakeholders to make any social project uh, successful, basically. Yeah. So given that, and it's one part is that one, and another part is that the our civil society organizations, they work a lot on the ground, and they are very good to deliver on the ground, but it becomes very difficult for them to create a proper narrative of their work. So that is not only doing part, but what you have done, it needs to be told to the world. Only then you will be able to gather traction for support, basically. So it is something, there is a sense of, I can say, inability to create a narrative that needs to be that is there. So given that one part is that one, and another part I would like to tell is that uh, what happens is that in terms of getting without having a framework that could be played with, that could be used, that could be understood seamlessly, it becomes very difficult to even construct a proper project for any, for doing a good thing. Yeah. Because it needs to be it needs to be done in such a manner that it needs to catch every details of the project, so that you will be able to put up proper narrative for what you are doing to create an outcome, and also what cost it makes, basically, to get the things done. Yeah. So given that, what happens normally, mistakes what I've seen with the civil society organization is, they see input, and then they say, yes, I'll create that impact, but that is not done. So there are number of steps which needs to be addressed to. And at the same time, another mistake I've seen is that, although within the given the project fund and given the timeline of the project, they can commit only to certain level of outcome, but in the project statement they commit to impact. Okay. So that understanding itself, I think it's very, very critical. So one cannot, commit to impact, because one can do only up to certain level of outcome. So what happens in the absence of all these, real narratives, what happens is the real cost is not factored in the absence of a certain, without a framework. And also, uh, sometimes, the vetting of any social proposal becomes incomplete. At the same time, there is a lot of questions and cross questions with the not profit for profit organizations, asking them to clarify, things. It opens door after door, basically. So that tantamounts to create a lot of transaction cost also. And at the same time, what happens without any outcome based framework, what happens is that project land up in doing output at the most first level of outcome. Yeah. So then social projects get devalued. So if you want to create a real value of the project, create a narrative about yourself, your USP, then result based project management is very, very important. And for that, it's very important to observe logic model and follow, sorry, observe logic model to justify the project in a way, in a very logical manner. So that comes to logic model. So yes. So hope Madhav, could you understand this first question? Can you respond in your right, in your this one chat?
We have gotten some thumbs up. Can we
Yeah.
get some responses from the audience today? If all of you have understood
Do you
what,
understand?
yeah, I think people have said that they could make sense of what you just told us. A follow-up question of this is, how do you think logic model can build up bottom-up narrative for the sector?
Yeah, logic model can bring a bottom up narrative. What as I said that, how most of the NPOs, not for profit organizations, now perceive logic model. Sometimes they feel that if we follow logic model, there's lot of work, basically. Yeah, but it's not so. So any change, it's difficult first, but at the same time, once you follow logic model, every, the whole creation of narrative, bottom up narrative. What is social organization for? They are for creating the social capital. Yeah. For that, creating social currency is very important. Yeah. So given that, now building a bottom up narrative for social sector, this, if one follows, result based management through logic model, it gives ample space to small NGOs, not for profit organizations, civil society, to create a narrative very logically. One part is there, and at the same time, it gives space to analyze what worked and what did not work. So it's one becomes, although it looks that it's a very linear type of flow, it's not like that. So one that is a framework where every stakeholder will understand how difficult a social project is and what changes needs to be brought even within the project period. Yeah. So at the same time, it helps analyze assumptions, risks and limitations also. And it helps analyze unintended negative outcome also. Sometimes you do good, but you never know what negative outcome you are creating. Yeah. So these type of analysis, and overall it helps you to create a sharper focus about the impact. Yeah. About the impact. So you need not commit to impact, but at the same time, the way you plan out things to create an outcome, it will show that what impact it is going to create. Yeah. And it helps build framework for, you know, different key performance indicators. So it's not necessary that all the key performance indicator has to be judged by third party at the for, you know, evaluation. It's not like that. So it helps you segregate what are the internal KPIs that will support the external KPIs. So given that, you know, you will be able to handle projects scientifically, and at the same time the space you get, you know, to organize your project through logic model, it gives you much more space to create your bottom up narrative for social impact. So understood this part? Kindly respond. Could you
Can we have
understand?
some responses from the audience if this part, this question makes its answer makes sense? Okay. Uh, so, ma'am, so there is, how do you think logical model needs to be used? Would you prescribe some do's and don'ts as to how can it be used and how can it, and where can it not be used? Some do's and
See,
don'ts around that.
yeah, yeah, fine. So logic model, see, logic model is a bi-directional matrix, traceability matrix, to understand forward and backward traceability on something stated objective. No, project objective is something, the it's the mission statement of the project. Yeah. So given that, it construct a necessary link so that input can be identified and designed and traced back to overall outcome. Yeah. Overall outcome means what you want to achieve by the end of the project, that is there. So given that, I'm not going into details, but at the same time, it's very important that the activities, what you're doing, the output you're getting out of those activities, and different levels of outcome. Huh? First level, second level, whatever you want to achieve towards overall outcome. It's important to understand the the how the logic model works. And your question, can you again tell me the question now, because I had to explain this. Yeah.
Yes. How logical model needs to be used? Some
Yeah,
do's and don'ts around that.
yeah. So given this background, see, logical model is something that it emanates from overall outcome, from impact. So most of the NPOs, what they do is they begin with input. So input will not be, it's not, input should not be first, basically. It's something like, if I want to become a doctor, yeah, first I aim to be a doctor. So I then appear for entrance exam. All right. So it is very important what you aim at, you have to be clear first. Otherwise, you will be missing the wood for the trees. Yeah. So this is important. And social projects are difficult. That's why it has to be used as an enabling framework to understand the intricacies involved in social project in an open, transparent, and comprehensible manner for achieving a meaningful outcome. All right. It is a framework which open up, which you can talk, you can analyze, and you can talk with every stakeholder very frankly, and you can improve the project at any time, whenever it's needed. Now, this matrix needs to be used with reasonable flexibility for needful revisions in midterm and end term. This is important. And midterm means when the project, say for 3 years project, at least after 2 years, one need to see how the project has worked, and how, do we need to do anything. And most important is it needs to be used as for a healthy dialogue amongst the primary stakeholders to co-create impact of social enterprises, not for profit social enterprises. So these are some of the do's and don'ts. There are many, but I think these could be few which I could cite right now.
Okay.
Understood this one?
Yeah, some responses from the audience. So, ma'am, there is a question that has come your way. Would you want to answer it now before we move on to the next question?
Yeah, please ask the questions to me.
Yes, yes. How will be result focused program design and management help the SPOs and funders?
Okay. All right. So this is important. See, logic model in terms of ease of doing business. Yeah. What I'll tell, it's for everyone. Ease of doing business, not only for the, you know, NPOs, not for profit organization. It helps build a clear terms and conditions between the funder and the implementation agency. So funders will be attracted more where when the project is constructed using logic model. Yeah, provide clarity to them on project outcome at the time of project negotiations. So that will build lot of traction for bringing in resources. All right. At the same time, it helps social enterprise to build proficiency to prepare, implement, and track project process in a logical manner. Clear impact communication and reporting will be there. So that I have already told, I need not repeat. At the same time, see, it will enable the funders. The answer to the questions which have been asked is the enable the funders, risk investors, and third party evaluators to understand, comprehend key reporting requirements based on traceability. That's what they want. Okay. So it provides guidance to entities on that even sometimes people do not know how to communicate the essence of project, but that framework will provide the key matrices where the key essence of project could be discussed very frankly with the funders, by the funder with the project proposing agency. So this is how it helps.
Sure. Can you cite, sorry,
Please
can you also cite some success stories around where logical framework model has in organizations or places where it has successfully worked? If you could shed some light with some success stories.
Yeah, so myself, although being in a government, I have used logic model through and through. Yeah, and many livelihood projects and dealing with hunger, gender, watershed management. Yeah. So since I was in the government, so I have handled complex projects using a logic model. Yeah. So given that I can cite one example, if I can share now, I'll just share one project that's called Livelihood Improvement Project for the Himalayas. I think that was from 2004 to 2011. Yeah. So I will just cite. I'll give a little because it will help you understand about how you can create impact using logic model framework.
Sure.
Now I think my screen is. I had kept one presentation I had done long time back, so I will just put here only. So I need to show the screen. Yeah. So understanding process flow of logic model. I do not want to go See, this is one project. Could everyone see? It's
Yes,
okay.
Jyotsna ma'am. Yes, yes, it is visible. Yeah.
So this I have specifically now I had to deal with in Uttarakhand 17 poorest blocks, and these were no, these 17 blocks were in 5 districts. They were the most food insecure blocks. Okay, when Uttarakhand was uh, carved out from Uttar Pradesh. Now, number of villages, these were 959, targeted families 42,690 households. And now that the project which we had to do, these were the most food insecure villages basically. Okay, 959. Now you can see the project goal is something like impact. It's a long term sustainable improvement. By this example you'll understand, because if you take RBPM course, then you'll be explained in details. The whole course is, I think, driven to all this. So overall objective, whatever project is the overall outcome. One has to be very, very clear on that one. Yeah. And this could be achieved by the end of the project. Yeah. So in 17 blocks, 5 districts, 42,690 household, target disadvantaged rural mountain household. In terms of, what we had to do was that in the sustainably the income of these families sustainably improved through gender sensitive poverty focused collective self help promotion system adoption for better livelihood opportunities by the end of the project. We are not telling that we can achieve only this by the end of the project. Okay. So obviously, the overall outcome, as I told, it will go to outcome, then activities, then inputs. But most of the project which I see from the not-for-profit organization, they move from input to activities to outcome to, that is a wrong thing to do. Okay. So given that now pre-project, one has to have we had a component of pre-project. This is very critical. Pre-project implementation. So these were the components. First, building the capacity of the community organization and support livelihood, support organizations. And see, you can see livelihood enhancement and development is something like once you organize the poorest people, then we start experimenting some livelihood enhancement activities. After that, livelihood support system is something to deal with, you know once they do the activity simultaneously, how the ecosystem needs to be developed, what are the market and policy framework conditions that needs to be developed to support C. So this is D basically. And project management, of course, the HR part, and rural finance is something, where we had experimented with social venture capital company also. So this is something. And see, even in this poor category, uh, uh, one can see that the total number of household was 63,406. But uh, even in this one, we had segregated vulnerable, hardcore poor, hovering above the poverty line, and well off people. And we had left well off people. Only we had targeted most vulnerable families, hardcore poor families, and hovering above the poverty line. Hovering above the poverty line means once they become poor, if some illness happens in their home or something happens, then again they will become hardcore poor. Okay. So these families we are taken, and we are clear, and these were done all through participatory mechanism. Every household knew that who is the poorest lot and how the space for vulnerable needs to be given. They were mostly landless people. Okay. So once you do in a participatory way, then everyone accepts that who is vulnerable, who needs maximum support, who needs moderate support, and who needs less support. Yeah. So these understanding is created amongst the community. and who need not be supported. Even community, they themselves told that they need not be supported collectively. So see, and this one, the project was 112 crore rupees at that point of time. IFAT, funding was that, and it was only 47% of funding. Okay. Then, project was, constructed in such a way, we had to mobilize fund from financial institutions, and community had to mobilize by themselves 12% of the fund. 68 crores from financial institutions, with the strength of community bringing in. And you can imagine, these were the poorest lot. Still community expected that 28% of, 28 crore need to come from the community. So sometimes you feel that, most of the one what I would like to tell is that sometimes we feel that since people are very poor, only subsidy, based program need to go. But we, given logic model is adopted properly, it gives lot of space for people to act, people to grow on their own. And most important is they're giving them the space to build the capacity and be the equal partners in the project process. Yeah. And the state government had 13%. They had to give. Mostly staff was borne by and it amounted to some 31 crore rupees. Yeah. And total project cost was 239 crore rupees. Yeah. So given that, now I'll just move quickly. How much time is left now?
We still have half an hour, ma'am.
Half an hour. Fine.
Yes.
So I can explain them and question. ना क्वेश्चन भी तो पूछेंगे ये लोग, या नहीं होगा क्वेश्चन जितना
So there
पूछा
will
हो.
be questions, but you can explain it to them. There.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's very important, how the project components are set. Yeah. And these were the costings, pre-project implementation तैयारी के लिए, and then empowerment capacity, all SH, they were women were given literacy program, women were given health education uh, program. Most of the women were not educated. Okay. So given that, with uneducated, how you build the business, because they had to mobilize 20 crore rupees fund. Okay. So now, livelihood enhancement and development. Now these are all these demo programs and all in livelihood enhancement and development. See, livelihood support system is like business development services. Yeah, that is the. So how the project is constructed in a manner that gives a space to the poor people to be, to be to be to participate in the project and work for their own livelihoods and sustain that, improve livelihoods for on and on. That is very, very important. And rural finance, I'll tell you later on. So this one had a the project had the social wing, and we had worked with some 19 NPO partners in the social wing. Component B, you can see. Yeah. That was identifying building capacity of poorest household, organizing and strengthening capacity through SHGs and one panchayats, capacity building of NGOs and community based organization. I think some 19, sorry, this one 9E, एक minute, huh? I think 15 or 19. I'll just tell you later on. I think you'll get aware. These, the NPOs were there in block labels. We worked with civil society organizations, community-based organizations to, mobilize. This was the social part. Now, this other part was this Upasak. Upasak, that was a company. Company means that dealt with the business wing, enterprise development. All right. So ultimately, it was thought that the community-based organizations, supported by NGOs, uh, SHGs, SHG Federation will get transformed into small and micro medium enterprises, and through support from the financial institutions and investors. So this is how the project was more. Now approach was 17 remoted. I have already told. So there were 17 in every block. There was one NPO, huh, working with us to mobilize the community. So well-being ranking, I have already told all this now. Well-being ranking, 4 categories, segmentation of subsectors as per WBR emerged, segmentation of interventions for cross subsidization, because poorest needed largest subsidy, hardcore poor needed a lesser subsidy, and the people the household hovering above the poverty line needed more lesser. So given that, how one need to be work with, with such a market mechanism for livelihood, then only they will be able to sustain. Yeah. So all this, and then provision for technical knowledge, backward forward linkage, then this one, then business plan development, all this support were given to them. Prioritization of cluster specific value chain, we had started with some 28 activities, but ultimately we focused into only 7 value chains, because until unless you adopt a market mechanism, help them with market mechanism to build the value chain, it will not be they will not be able to sustain. So most of the work which NPO does is that, they do a number of activity, but it will not lead basically. Yes, they have got baskets of livelihood options, but that's the type of value chain you have to adopt, can only build their negotiation power with the market. um, uh, Otherwise they will not be able to sustain. Okay. So engaging 95% women, you can see in bullet number 5. So 95% of this all these activities were women, and you can see at the bottom two bullet points. This is one, we did umbrella branding after developing 7 value chains out of 26 preliminary identified activities. So convergence is also very important. हाँ, और 17 NPO partners were there हमारे जो NGO, then financial institutions, commodity boards, commercial institutions, individual consultants, international agencies, line departments, technical and other resource organizations. So all these supported these. Now you can see first and second level outcome. Okay. First and why I'm telling outcome, I'm going to logic model, and first and second level outcome I'm telling. See, the community, we had to form, the goal of the project was 4,000. We could do 2,926. All right. These are second level outcome. Community organization SHG गठन किया और वन पंचायत गठन किया. So it was 90. Membership of community organization, it had exceeded a little more, because more families had, came, more poorer families came basically. So now savings of the group, they had to save 8 lakh rupees, they saved, sorry, 8 crore rupees, they saved 8.68 crore rupees. Okay. Interloaning of the group, they had to do interloaning of 15 crore rupees, they did interloaning of 21 crore rupees. Number of groups linked with banks, this was their CCL. They did little less, 91%. Federation, they had to form 53 business federation, they formed 72 business federation. Because it's a mountain, so that it became very difficult to form lesser federation because of geographical conditions. Yeah. And groups linked with federations, you can see uh, the target was 3,200 groups to be linked with federation. It was 3,197. And group linked members, you can see against that 29,002, 90% was there. So these are the first and second level outcome only. It is not overall outcome. Overall outcome, I'll show. See, I said that 7 value chain, na? So 7 value chain, you can see, you want to do very thorough subsector analysis, and उतना ही एक्टिविटी उनको करने के लिए इनपुट दिया गया. आई थिंक पीपल विल अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी ना. इट्स ओके इफ आई स्पीक हिंदी
Yes,
इन.
please. Yes, please. They will understand. Yes.
या तो अगर ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग करना है तो सब चीज में मत फैलो. जिसमें उनको मुनाफा है उसी में फैल के उनका एक बास्केट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज आइडेंटिफाई करके वो कर लिया. ऑफ सीजन वेजिटेबल्स, then all vegetable production, marketing, polyhouse construction, spice cultivation, rainwater harvesting and all. And broiler is the breed which is mix of desi murga and broiler. Yeah. So only mother unit, broiler bada, rearing unit. Dairy something like fodder, milk production, marketing, integrated livestock management center, where all paraprofessionals were also created. Medicinal aromatic plant, either in the homestead or in the common area. And you can see in ecotourism only focus on homestay, base camp and trekking route. रॉट लिखा है, रूट है ये. तो ये रूरल नॉन फार्म सेक्टर, इसमें कम्युनिटी मैनेज रिटेल एंटरप्राइज, लोकल रिसोर्स बेस्ड एंटरप्राइज. ओके. So now this is what after analyzing we could see that we could, and you can see, I can tell you, then off season vegetables were more popular with the people hovering above the poverty line because they could invest more, and well of people. What we had done was that we did not give any support to well of people, but at the same time if they wanted to join with the people hovering above the poverty line and marketing or any capacity building, the door was open to them because we wanted to create a business volume. Okay. And dairy, off-season vegetable were mostly popular with the people hovering above the poverty line. Ecotourism, see, ecotourism for some people hovering above the poverty line, and even hardcore poor people also. Dairy also, even with support, map, medicine aeropatic plan, organic farming, we could do hardcore poor and wo. But who were the landless, vulnerable, we could do only broiler because broiler was free ranging bird. वो सबका खा के बहुत अच्छा मीट, 120 अंडे और बहुत अच्छा 2 kg का मीट देता था 1.5 year में. ओके. So that way one has to be very very clear what goes well with what type of people. ये पॉसिबल हुआ when we followed logical model properly. Okay. Otherwise वो किसी को भी अब लोग बोलते हैं कि मेरे को ये दे दो, वो दिया जाता है. परंतु it's very important to plan things out that what people need, assess with them, then what type of value chain they can handle without taking much risk. That is very very important. So you can see by the after doing all this, by 2011 to December 2012, they had total 71 business federation had already come out, and you can see the business turnover. Yeah. So by 11 12, there the individual and collective business enterprise was to the tune of 6.8 crore rupees. This and main business activity are very very clearly identified and supported, and loans were taken for these purposes with very clear marketing strategy. So this is how the poor needs to be supported. And now you can see ये क्या है ना, स्टॉप शेयरिंग बोले तो हाइड कर दूं, 1 मिनट. हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. तो ये आपका अगर आप देखेंगे तो आई हैव शोन ना द IFAD had this one, institution finance, that one. So actually contributed crores, you can see IFAD contributed 96 crores, financial institution 39, sorry percentage के हिसाब से, community 21, सॉरी, इन करोड्स के हिसाब से आप देखेंगे जो मैंने आई हैड शोन यू वन टेबल अर्लियर, या so this was envisaged, this much amount will be contributed to this project. You can see actually contributed IFAD 96 crores, financial institution 39 crores, community 21 crores out of 28 crores, and state government 31. Okay. And 37 came through convergence activities. Yeah. So given that, now in 2012 we had 72 business federation. By 2021, this business federation had 233 business federation came. Yeah, with the support. Matlab, IFAD was happy, then they gave further support to spread, but no, but the intensity of support was not like the earlier, the first project. Now business turnover of 6.8 crore at that point of time. Now in 2000 and 2021, this was the COVID time, where we had taken some review. Even during the COVID time, it was 35 crore. So the profit with the profit of turnover was 2020 was 35 crore, and profit even during the COVID time was 3.68 crore rupees. Now,
Ma'am, if I may come in, there are some questions that have come your way. We have like 9 minutes, 10 minutes left. Would you want to take the question and then maybe
yeah,
connect?
yeah. If they find interesting, then I can continue a little bit, about
Okay.
this project. So
Okay.
these are the project outcome, na? These are the outcome. Outcome means उस समय जो outcome निकाल सकते थे, वो इतना ही होता. 21% increase in vegetable contribution. ये ऐसा नहीं मैं livelihood enhance कर रहा हूँ लोगों को, हाँ? कितना आया. So this is something like 20% increase, one itna. So at the end of the project, only this much we could analyze, and project has had committed only this much. Okay. हाँ, क्वेश्चन बोलो फिर मैं कर दूंगा
Yes.
फिर.
Yes. So, what, how, according to you, is a concept or framework like results-based program management helpful for program management professionals? This could be across sectors within the
हाँ,
ecosystem of development.
these could be across sectors. See, matlab, if you want to show me, I'll just show. Okay, I'll just show. क्या है कि the way you have question na, I can show how it will be helpful. Okay. So let me go ahead, because kindly give more time. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand this. I'll not take much time, maybe 10 minutes more, but you have to commit your time. That's all.
Sure, sure. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if you find interesting, find interesting, you kindly give a thumbs up, then only I'll continue. Otherwise, I can stop within 1 hour also. Yeah, yeah. Please let me know. Huh? So given
Yes.
that now a project versus non-project village ka increase 4 times, these are done by not by project. These are done by third-party evaluation. Okay. 200 and now say 4 times more household in project villages are cultivating off-season vegetable compared to household in non-project villages. Yeah. 236 community resource person. Again, this community resource person, they have started earning, means the paraprofessionals who were created by the project, they started giving services to the business development services or whatever to the families, and they instead earn 37 lakh rupees per annum. So now given to getting a ulip model, see, we had worked with the poorest lot na. Okay. और जिस टाइप के पोर महिलाएं और पोर परिवार थी, तो ये है कि सब्सिडी मॉडल कुड हैव वर्क द बेस्ट बेसिकली, बट द वे प्रोजेक्ट वाज डिजाइन्ड and the way the support was given, the project invested, I have already told, that financial support services agreement with former financial institution and venture capital infusion into business plan. This was by the end of the project, was already 33 proposals sanctioned worth 94 lakh rupees from October to December. इसमें Uttarakhand Gramin Bank and other banks were involved basically. Now, project had invested 96.6 crore rupees in activities. Formal financial institution invested 39 crores. Convergence mobilized 38 crores. And community contributed 21 crores. So we invested 97.77 crore rupees. Sorry, we had invested 96.69 crore rupees. But by the end of the project, the community, convergence, and formal financial institution had already raised 97.77. That means 101%. We had, if we had invested 100%. So this was instrumental in moving from a subsidy mode of handling, livelihood to a business, with a business sense, livelihood promotion, getting by giving the appropriate support. So this is something like projects, and I'm not going to this now. How part? This is also something like I'm telling this milk production. One value chain was milk production, na? So project ended in 2012, 2013, but they are projected till 15-16. So total household coverage, federation turnover, total milk production per liter, and federation profit. So this is how the community had made business plan for the period even after the project. That's why they could now expand their uh, uh, business activity. So how means how the this logic model was used, I will just show, but don't get much more involved because you will be taught more. It is just to give a give a sense basically. See, this is a project log frame, same project. Yeah. Sustainable improvement of livelihood opportunities in mountain areas. This was in Meghalaya also. Same time, Meghalaya also had. And you can see here, we had 42,690 household. Meghalaya had 29,300 household. This was a IFAT project. Yeah. So given that, you can see how the goal was set, how key performance indicator were set. Because this will become very heavy for you right now. Once you take the course on this result based management framework, you'll be able to understand better. Now I told gold is the gold is the vision. Then overall purpose, it is the overall objective of the project. This is the overall outcome of the project, this one which I have done this. Now uh, this overall outcome is driven by the intermediate outcomes, and these are empowerment of capacity building organization. This is an intermediate outcome, first level. आई कैन से फर्स्ट लेवल आउटकम, पहले महिलाओं को इकट्ठा किया, उनका एसएचजी गठन किया, उनसे आपने क्या है कि उनसे क्या है कि थोड़ी बचत लेना शुरू किया, फिर जब उनका कॉन्फिडेंस गेन हुआ उनको, और आपने लोनिंग के लिए वो किया. और ऐसा नहीं था यहाँ पर महिलाएं पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे, 10% महिलाएं पढ़ी लिखी थी इसमें, उनको गिनना नहीं आता था, उनको क्या है ना, ये पैसे का हिसाब हम सांप सीढ़ी का लूडो खेला के करते थे, क्योंकि उनको अंक नहीं आता था, इतना कठिन था काम करना. तब भी ये देखो कि इन्होंने कहां से कहां पहुंच गए, है ना. तो इसके बाद में देखो आउटपुट. अब ये फर्स्ट लेवल आउटकम का ये आउटपुट है. आउटपुट में मैंने एसएचजी गठन किया, एसएचजी फॉर्म्ड एंड स्ट्रेंथन, एसएचजी नंबर ट्रेंड इन मोबिलाइजेशन, देन कम्युनिटी सेंसिटाइज्ड, उसके बाद ब्लॉक लेवल ऑफिसेस, whatever this whatever PRI sensitized, and every had their KPIs basically, की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर यहाँ है. हाँ, ये फर्स्ट लेवल आउटकम. ऐसे सेकेंड लेवल आउटकम, ये लाइवलीहुड एनहांसमेंट, इसका आउटकम है. आउटकम में इसका क्या क्या आउटपुट, इसका आउटकम का अपना अपना इंडिकेटर केपीआई है. उसके बाद में ये चीज, फिर उसके अंदर उस आउटकम को पूरा करने के लिए क्या क्या आउटपुट की आवश्यकता थी. हाँ, उसके आउटपुट में आप देखेंगे एग्रीकल्चर डेवलपमेंट, हॉर्टिकल्चर, लाइफ स्टॉक, है ना, सोयल कंजर्वेशन, फॉरेस्ट्री, वॉट एवर. Because the type of value chain which was supported, like broiler and dairy, it came under livestock development. Okay. And if I am doing oxygen vegetable, it came under horticulture. and if I am doing organic farming, it came under agriculture. Yeah. And for poorest people, the farmers exposed to soil and water conservation management technique, because for doing effective agriculture, horticulture and all, you have to have a good irrigation system. So every, you can see all of them have got their KPIs. Yeah, key performance indicator. So this is how the logic model works to. And if you can come to the outcome number 3, livelihood support system. Okay, then you know it has got its own output. मेरे को ये अचीव करने के लिए, ये आउटकम, ये थर्ड लेवल आउटकम है। ये थर्ड लेवल आउटकम अचीव करने के लिए मेरे को क्या आउटपुट की आवश्यकता है, और उसके लिए क्या इनपुट की आवश्यकता है, और उसको मैं कैसे नाप सकता हूं। हाँ, इनपुट नहीं नापते हैं, आउटकम से नापना शुरू करते हैं। हाँ, तो इसमें भी आप देखेंगे जहां जहां आपका ये पीला लिखा है ना, रिम्स रिम्स करके, इसको मैं थोड़ा बढ़ा देती हूँ। रिम्स लिखा है रिजल्ट एंड इंपैक्ट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, ये हमारा इंडिकेटर नहीं है, ये इफाट का है। तो जब भी कभी जिसके आधार पर उन्होंने अपना थर्ड पार्टी इवैल्यूएशन किया, बाकी क्या है कि ये इनका प्रोजेक्ट का अपना मैनेजमेंट एंड कंट्रोल के लिए इन्होंने किया। तो जब ये कि थर्ड पार्टी क्लियर हो जाता है कि मेरे को इन्हीं में करना है, तो क्या है ना, ये जो हमारा एनपीओस को ज्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होती है। दिक्कत तभी होती है जब लॉक फ्रेम आप नहीं बनाएंगे, और आपका कोई भी आपका क्या है ना, आप करने क्या जा रहे हैं क्लियर नहीं है, और आपका इंडिकेटर्स क्लियर नहीं है, तभी आपको दिक्कत होती है। और इसमें आप देखेंगे फ्रेमवर्क में सब कुछ क्लियर है, किसी को कोई अंडरस्टैंड करना हो कहीं पर भी जाके वो आराम से पढ़ के अंडरस्टैंड करके वो अपना भूमिका निभाता है। इसीलिए कॉस्ट भी कम होता है प्रोजेक्ट ऑपरेशंस में। हाँ, सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमारे एनपीओस बहुत सुकून से काम कर पाएंगे। इनको बहुत ज्यादा कंप्लायंस रिपोर्टिंग इत्यादि में जो झंझट होती है, उससे ये मतलब है कि अगर काम सही किया सब चीज सही रहेगा, नहीं किया एकदम से दिखाई देगा। और ये इसीलिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि जब हम कोई फंड दे रहे हैं उसमें काम सही हो, और सब मतलब इसको करने में भी दिक्कत ना हो किसी को भी। सो इसीलिए ये इस टाइप से लॉक फ्रेम ऑपरेट करता है। ठीक है, अब ये ज्यादा करूंगी आपको थोड़ा सा वो हो जाएगा, क्या है ना, मैं इतना ही कर देती हूँ। ये बीच वाला तो ये है कि कैसे फ्लेक्सिबली काम करना था, मैं इसको थोड़ा दिखा देती हूँ ना। ये एक्चुअली मेरे को मना कर दिया था, मत दिखाओ करके, ना दिखाओ करके बोले थे, पर ये है कि आप लोग पूछ रहे हैं तो ये जैसे मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया, ये मैं एक लॉन्ग टर्म इंपैक्ट से चला, आपने टेबल देखा, उसमें मैं आउटकम की बात की। वो आउटकम लेवल 1 एसएचजी गठन का लेवल 1 था, और क्या है ना, लाइवलीहुड सपोर्ट वाला आउटकम नंबर 2 था, है ना, आउटकम नंबर 3 था लाइवलीहुड सपोर्ट, और लाइवलीहुड एनहांसमेंट वाला आउटकम नंबर 2 था। ठीक है, उनका अपना अपना आउटपुट था, आउटपुट में भी एक एक आउटपुट था। इसमें भी आप देखेंगे, अगर मैं लाइवलीहुड मतलब एसएचजी का और विलेज इंस्टीट्यूशन का गठन का बात करूं, ये आउटकम नंबर 1। हाँ, इसी में आउटकम नंबर 2 भी हो सकता है। फिर आउटकम नंबर के लिए एक एक एक्टिविटी है, उसमें इनपुट होगा और वो भी होगा। इसमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम प्री प्रोजेक्ट एक्टिविटीज को कैसे अटेंड करते हैं, बेसलाइन। क्योंकि अब मैं आपको दिखाया, जब मैंने अपना प्रेजेंटेशन में दिखाया कि हॉर्टिकल्चर का प्रोडक्शन 21% बढ़ा। यदि मैं बेसलाइन नहीं किया होता तो मैं बता ही नहीं सकता। लोग बोलते हैं कि आपने फर्जी किया। ठीक है, इसीलिए ये बेसलाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। स्टाफ का ओरिएंटेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है प्री प्रोजेक्ट स्टेज में। टारगेटिंग थ्रू पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच, एज आई टोल्ड यू, ऑल द 4 families वर टारगेटेड थ्रू पार्टिसिपेटरी अप्रोच। अदरवाइज उनके बीच में बहुत अनबन होता। हाँ, ये क्यों मतलब ये कि हमें क्यों ज्यादा सब्सिडी मिला, इनको क्यों नहीं मिला, इनको क्यों क्रॉयलर में क्या है कि इनको क्रॉयलर में 60% सब्सिडी दिया गया, और मैं पॉली हाउस में हूं, मेरे को केवल 10% सब्सिडी। ओके, so these type of things are very important as far as logic model adoption, very practically. So I think I answered all the questions now. Okay.
Yes. So with this, we come to the end of the.
रुको जरा भी 1 मिनट मैं इसको ऑफ नहीं पूछना भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ना लोगों को पूछ नहीं रहे
Yes, yes.
मे बी
So
1 मिनट रुको जरा मैं कैसे इसको ऑफ 1 मिनट हाँ आई एम नॉट नोइंग हाउ टू मूव आउट 1 मिनट जस्ट अ मिनट रुक जा स्टॉप शेयरिंग stop sharing so
yes.
Anana, don't close right now okay so can you give me feedback I
S-
1 minute question sure plus sir how was the session can you give feedback only 10 people are here right now
yeah. So can we get some feedbacks in the chat box as to if you have liked the session? Jyotsna ji would like some feedbacks from the participants.
so I really do not know how much they have understood only if 2 thumbs up Sanjay Pandit was Ankit Deshmukh मेरे ख्याल में I think done thank you very
Yes,
much for
yes.
staying
Thank you so much for
just
the
just but
extremely insightful session.
हाँ so thank you for being here and look forward to if you have found interesting and if you have seen and I would like that if you you would like to study more on RBPM I think it would be very good to go further and delve into this subject so that the skill to get the real impact on the ground will get uh, really you'll be having the hang of it and professionally you will grow a lot thank you very much
Thank you so much and have a good weekend.